Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coffee with Craig show. We'll be talking about commercial real estate in Central and Eastern Europe. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coffee with Craig show, our special edition. Again, once a week, we're here at Panattoni Cafe, which we had a great breakfast, and always very nice here if you're in the center of Warsaw. And also super coffee. Winston, how you doing?
All right, Craig, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, good. We kind of missed Monday, Tuesday because I was in Prague, putting together the our Prague Real Estate Awards for retail, and went very well. We had did it at the Julius Hotel, which was our partnership there. We had nice jury members attend the night before. And then the day of the event, or the evening of the event, we had some exciting winners. We had Frutismo from Czech company, but doing a lot of international things with these fresh drinks, fruit drinks.
Yep.
They won an award. Also, H&M, which is on our fashion retailer. They had the big retailers. We only had 5 awards for this one because it is local, but there's really a lot of professionals there, really a lot of things happening, right? And we're definitely going to expand it next year. More retailer awards, more shopping center awards, this kind of stuff. But CPI won, also big player there, and they have a new project. And Accolade won, and everyone always thinks about Accolade, of course, is investing and developing in industrial. But when we were talking to them, they said, look, 40% of our clients are retail.
Right,
so we consider ourselves retail. And I'm like, well, so did the jury. So they so they let them win for that. Another agency, 108 agency, they're doing quite a lot also on logistics connected with retail. So another big one. Also, Knight Frank was there. They're doing they didn't win an award, but they're doing a lot of retail on the kind of shopping center management, and they're managing some shopping centers, and quite a few smaller agencies or local agencies that are really focused on specific retail. So they were there. A lot of professional service providers that were also doing things. Quite a lot of interesting retailers. A couple from Poland flew over. Yes was there. They've got 4 stores in Prague, looking to open a lot more. So I could see they were talking with CPI guys and looking to probably double the number of stores.
Yeah, because Prague's like the stepping stone into the region, isn't it, for most international retailers? I think
a lot of the premium brands and luxury brands start in Prague. And some of them just have 1 store for CEE, but if it's going well in Prague, then they're looking at Warsaw. They're looking at Hungary as well. Maybe Hungary first because of the tourism, in Budapest. So really a lot of fun as well. That's a bit of it is having some fun, but
good.
Interesting jury members, interesting winners. Good to see all the guys in Prague again. James Turner from Sierra Balmain popped in, so big. Also talking to retailers, looking for closer music, and the guys doing that, they were over. Quite a few from Poland also flew in, so bit of fun. There's a lot of events. There's a lot of events this week. Yeah, I was thinking last week, but it was still this week.
Yeah,
so.
Back to work, and a lot of retail events going on as well. So
this is retail week.
They can't be everywhere.
Yeah, there's one of course in Warsaw today or yesterday. There's Retail Expo in Paris. So, we were up against a lot of events around the region. So I think maybe we'll make ours a week later next year. But
we'll check out what's going on next week first.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe over the summer, because Prague's also not bad in the summer. So we'll see. So how are we doing on the news? Maybe some headlines.
Yeah, lots of news going on throughout the region. It's it's a busy old time, and Romanian developer Julius is preparing an €810 million investment in Constantia. Skanska has sold the first phase of the H2 offices in Budapest to Erste Open-Ended Fund, and Warsaw has joined the top 5 European cities for flex office space take-up, according to Savills. Look up on Skyliner's top floors has opened, and I was there yesterday. And
how was that?
Yeah, pretty special event type room. It's been leased by Villa Vauxhall.
Oh, yeah,
and it's going to be like this elite kind of conference banqueting kind of area. It's on 2 floors. It's obviously got spectacular views of Warsaw, because it's on the 41st and 42nd floors, I think. So,
yeah, I saw the invite, and I was sorry I couldn't make it.
Yeah, they asked. Yeah, after you, I told them.
Did they?
They
All
told them not
right.
to worry. You're in Prague. You're doing.
Don't
all
worry.
right.
Now I'm blacklisted to never go there again because I missed the opening.
And
Okay.
finally, from the warehouse side, Panattoni has completed a large BTS development near Gliwice.
All right. Yeah. You know, thinking about not only Panattoni, but just driving between Prague and Warsaw, it's amazing the amount of warehouse space that's taken up by everybody. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
big names, not only Panattoni, but all the other ones as well. And man, a lot of ground
Right.
is warehouse.
So it's not such a nice drive then. It's like full of industrial looking
No,
warehouse buildings.
it's also nice. It's lovely looking at them, but it's amazing how much space that, you know, in certain areas that
Right,
they've
yeah,
got.
of course.
And
Yeah,
you really
they've got their transportation hubs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And it's but
would
the
make sense they connect the big cities. Yeah.
Yeah, but the drive is really nice because it's mountains. A lot of it's
right.
mountains, and especially in the Czech half or the Czech bit of it, very nice as well. So very interesting there on the headlines. I can't wait to come back and hear the actual news, and we'll talk more about each one, I think, as it comes on. So we'll take a little break right now. We'll come right back with Winston Norman and the news. We've got few things coming up. Oh, the Expo Real guide or investment guide already at the printer, yeah?
Yep, that went to the printers on Monday, and no dramas. It's all done and dusted. Looking
I always
really
like
good.
when I'm not in the office during that deadline time.
Yeah, I didn't go in the office that day
didn't
either.
go in either. Okay, great. So that's at the printer. So pick up a copy. We'll be at Expo Real, of course, but we'll pick up a copy of the magazine at Expo Real. We have the most extensive distribution throughout the fair. We distribute, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 copies in 3 days. So definitely grab a copy if you want to know something going on in Central Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe. Also October, you know, big month for investment. We've got our CRE awards in Budapest this year. Again, on the 19th of October, exciting event. A little bit of a focus also on Serbia and Montenegro this year. So a lot of projects, especially Montenegro, a lot of hotel and resort projects going on there. But Serbia, a lot of things happening. Of course, Czech and Slovakia, a lot of things happening there. The nominations from there. Hungary being the biggest market in the region there, so a lot happening there as well. And interesting that even office building sold there. Yeah.
Well, you know, you mentioned Serbia, and you know the office and industrial sectors are very strong from Serbia, and that's what we're seeing. You know, reflected in the nominations coming in for the awards, and you know Montenegro being like a big tourist destination, so hotels and resorts are very strong there as well.
Yeah, and Serbia, and I don't know how well it's being published internationally, but they've won this World Expo or something Expo, maybe it's not World Expo, but Expo 2027. So now is building time. Hotels, I think there's 100,000 or 200,000 people that go to that. You know, I don't even think that Serbians expected to win it, but now they've actually got to deliver all kinds of stuff. Hotels, office, I mean, maybe some, stadiums, all kinds of stuff. So that's 2027 coming up. So if you're doing anything in construction, got any kind of materials or looking to expand into Serbia, I think now is the time to go down there, get building permits, and as long as you can get it built by 2027 and Expo opens, they'll probably be pretty happy. So something to look into. So that's interesting. Also, 19th of October, our CRE awards in Budapest, and then which is going extremely well. We had great turnout last year, but this year it's already well over the numbers that we had last year. So a lot of fun. The week right after is our, I think it's 16th annual investment awards. Is that right? God, I can't remember the number. Maybe 18th. Gosh,
no, I think it's 16th.
16th. Okay, so that's here in Warsaw at the InterContinental Hotel. And again, that event is always sold out. So if you haven't gotten a sponsorship or tickets or table yet, now is the time to book it before Expo Real. We launched the short list there. So usually either during Expo Real or soon after it, all tickets are gone. So jump on board. We got a few opportunities for sponsorship as well to promote your companies there. A lot of new companies coming on board for this one. So, and from what I remember,
we've gone into more depth into some kind of not new sectors, but you know the PRS sectors and the student housing sectors just generated extra interest, and obviously there's extra investment going on, and so you know it expands the scope of our awards somewhat.
Yeah, and one of the guys was telling me, he said something like, we need 500,000 student housing, and we've got 10,000. I mean, big, and it's in all the markets, not only Poland, but Czech, Romania, Hungary, everywhere there is. I mean, when you look at the numbers, you're like, wow, this cannot lose. This cannot, you know, I mean, you know, there's obviously more to it than that, but you just think when you hear the numbers, you're thinking, gosh, let's build some of that.
Of course, yeah.
And, you know, these students generally have money because they're 30%, 20% are abroad. And so, you know, they're used to paying in euros. They know that's what's coming. And
well, I guess it's, you know, it's competition. Yeah. It's like, you know, we want these students to come to our city, you know, our developments, our universities, you know, our great accommodations.
Yeah,
so, you know,
yeah, exactly.
You know, they are building very high spec.
Yeah, and we'll talk about, we got some new sponsors for that. We'll talk about that in the next show as well. But that's exciting and big numbers for the investment awards. And from what I can see on the short list, we do have a lot of, I mean, we're on the news talking about the market being down 50%, 70%, 60%. Seems like every show someone's giving us these numbers. But I would say as far as the nominations coming in, we're up like 200%.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it does follow the market for sure. You know, investment deals are less. You know, but still, you know, there are quite a few still going on.
It seems like we have a lot.
And, you know, office developments are slowing down somewhat.
Right.
But then you've got these other things like value add and renovations going on and stuff, you know, and this ESG is driving a lot of the market these days, you know, so that, you know, people are reinventing their office buildings. And, you know, again, with the warehouse and logistics, very big on the ESG side as well now.
Yeah. I mean, office, okay, tougher on the investment side, but some of these other things are doing pretty well, these other sectors. And, when I talked, we were at GRI last week in Paris. Amazing event, as always. It's kind of like Paris, Europe, or whatever, Europe, GRI, Europe. And, you know, okay, there was no one with big pipelines of investment projects coming, but there was a lot of people with one project, two projects, putting things together and, you know, looking at new ideas and how to get funding and what to get funding. So, you know, for some of the big players that need a, you know, 500 million or billion sort of pipeline, okay, that's not that. I didn't see anybody like that there. And
are they looking to Central Eastern Europe then? Are they, you know, I mean, there's
just Europe.
It depends on the countries that need these extra things. Yeah.
Well, it's, you know, when I talk to some of the people, they're like, wow, Paris or France, everything's dead. No one's buying anything. But Central Europe, it's still going on. So, you know, we're kind of.
I mean, there's a disparity between what sellers, you know, want to sell for and what buyers want to buy for. So this is kind of, you know, slowed it all down somewhat.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's 20% difference. And if it's land, it's 40%. So even when people are writing me about land, I don't even want to talk to them because I don't want to make them mad at me and say, look, you're not going to get what you know, when did you buy it? When I hear that name, I'm like, oh, or that date, it's sort of like 40%, you know, painful on the land side. But things, you know, but you're right, disparity, but it's getting closer as for projects that can't get financed. No choice. So there will be some more transactions, I think, in the upcoming months that are more forced than wanting to happen.
A number of smaller deals that are hitting the market now.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, when the big players pull out, there's a little vacuum, and where, you know, other companies couldn't get things or other investment, especially, you know, some of these Czech funds and Hungarian funds, now they're able to buy
domestic
some of this
investors
stuff.
Are actually, you know, they account for a huge amount of the investment that's going on.
Yeah, that's now. You know, now that's the market these days.
Well, they know the markets. It's less risk for them, I guess.
Exactly. So let's take a little break, and we'll come right back with Winston Norman and the news. So welcome back, and we're here again with Winston Norman in the news. So we have, you know, a lot of things going on, but let's shoot through the news and you know, move on from there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, you're talking about you know, people investing lots of money in certain areas and certain districts. And this, the first news from Romania, which is obviously a little bit behind in the development curve. And Romanian developer Julius has signed a partnership with an oil terminal, which is a public company owned by the state, and they're going to create an urban regeneration project on a 38-hectare land plot in Constantia. Sorry, and apparently they're investing 810 million euros in this scheme, which is
810 million.
810 million euros in this scheme, and it's going to be a large mixed use scheme. And they've done other large mixed use schemes throughout the country. They've done one in Warsaw for 500 million euros, which is like office, residential, retail, which seems to be going very well. And I guess someone like Romania is crying out for this kind of development.
A lot of urban regeneration opportunities in Romania, for sure.
Moving to Hungary, and Skanska has sold the first phase of the H2O office complexes in Budapest to the Erste Open-Ended Fund. And this is the third acquisition by Erste from Skanska. They recently, in Hungary, they also acquired Nordic Light and Mill Park. And this building offers around 27,000 square meters of leasing space, and it's currently 74% leased. And being in Skanska, and they're kind of renowned for their kind of sustainability accredited buildings. It's received a LEED Platinum Core and Shell version 4 certification, which is the highest points ever in Hungary. And it's also got, very popular these days, is the WELL V2 Core and Shell certification. So meaning that the inside of the building is a very healthy, good place to do your work.
And also on the fact of it's another deal, office deal that was investment deal done. So it's not zero out there.
No. And according to Erste, the one of the main reasons they acquired this building is because of the great ESG credentials this building has. So moving forwards, it's it's a very secure, good investment for them.
Sure.
Moving to Warsaw, and Savills has announced that due to its flexible office space, Warsaw comes in 5th out of the European region. It follows London, and you've also got Prague, Amsterdam, Madrid, and then it's Warsaw. And flex offices account for 4% of total office take-up, according to Savills. And Mike Barnes, he says he's the senior Savills researcher. He says, given employer hiring sentiment has shown signs of weakening over the last 3 to 6 months, flex contract occupancy growth will be supported by companies looking for flexible terms to ensure they optimize the right workspace. And staying in the office market and in Warsaw, and like I said yesterday, I went to the new Lookup, which is owned by Villa Vauxhall, and this is at the top of the Skyline office building, which is being developed by the Kampol Group in the Wola district of Warsaw, and it's on an 830 square meter space on the top 2 floors of the building.
Oh, okay.
And it's a conference and events center. And it looks really nice, as you can imagine, and it will accommodate the 41st floor. It's a kind of conference and banqueting area, and accommodate around 100 people, and the 42nd floor can accommodate around 200 people. And again, this is for conferences, sit-down dinners, and banquets type thing. So it's kind of like the premier event rooms for Warsaw these days.
Sounds like we should do a little cocktail party up there.
Yeah, before, I think it's definitely something worth looking into and checking out. Spectacular views across Warsaw, of course. And finally for today, moving to the warehouse and logistics sector, and Panattoni has developed a BTS center for the Tenneco Group in Gliwice. And this is a company that works in the automotive trade. And according to Marek Wasinski, he's the BTS managing director at Panattoni, he says the global automotive industry is looking to Poland, and the high-tech building developed for the Monroe brand in Gliwice is to become a key center in Tenneco's portfolio alongside its other centers in Europe, China, India, and the US.
Wow, so big news day today.
Yeah, big news today. Got an extra little bit because I haven't seen you for a few days.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Plugged a couple more on the end.
Well, good to have you all at the Coffee with Craig show today. And again, we film once a week here at the Panattoni Cafe. So come join us in the morning, Monday mornings for, breakfast, or any day for breakfast. Always a nice place. And stay safe. I hope you enjoy the weather. It seems like it's very nice still, holding together. And we will see you on Monday morning. Click here to subscribe to the Coffee with Craig show, and don't forget to share it with your friends.